Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you the best Magnamalo armor guide, the new Hellfireblight meta. This video analyzes the armor of the featured monster of Curse of the Wandering Flame. So we had the monkey in Rajang, which was the boss monster, and now we have the feature monster, the one you see when you load up your phones, the flagship monster of Monster Hunter Rise, Magnamalo. And Magnamalo has some interesting armor pieces. Even if you don't want to build the Magnamalo armor for the skills, the layered armor is one of the coolest sets in the game. First, we're going to start off with the Magnamalo armor, forge stats, and requirements. Magnamalo armor starts at grade 4 with its base defense at 65. And its forge requirements are 4 Magnamalo shells, which are rarity 1, 2 Magnamalo horns, which are rarity 3, 2 Magnamalo blades, which are rarity 4, and 4 monster bow mediums, which are rarity 2. And you also need 900 Zenny. Next up, we have the Magnamalo armor forged to grade 6 cost. So upgrading any piece of the Magnamalo gear to grade 6 will require some materials. Upgrading to grade 6 though will grant a piece of Magnamalo a second skill, and upgrading some of the pieces to grade 6 may also upgrade a skill from a piece of Magnamalo armor from level 1 to level 2. And some drift smelt slots are unlocked for some of the Magnamalo armor at grade 6. In addition, we have the Magnamalo armor from grade 6 to grade 8 cost. And upgrading any piece of Magnamalo gear from grade 6 to grade 8 is going to take a lot of materials. However, upgrading to grade 8 is necessary to unlock the drift smelt slot for some of the Magnamalo armor. And it's important to note that Magnamalo does not have a rarity 6 that's unique and uses Wyvern gem shards. So if you have them stocked up, rejoice, you won't have to work too hard to get Wyvern gem shards and upgrade these from grade 6 to grade 8. And now, we move on to the section you've been waiting for, the Magnamalo armor analysis, and we're going to start off with the Helm, and here's its equipment skills, as well as their effects. You get Hellfire Cloak level 1, which upgrades to level 2 at grade 6. And this inflicts Hellfireblight on you at the start of the hunt, or when a certain amount of damage is dealt to the monster. In addition to the effects of level 1, decreases your defense by 50 and increases your attack power by 150 while inflicted with Hellfireblight. The drift smelt slot is also unlocked at grade 8. And it's one of the key gimmick pieces of the set, because to have that Hellfireblight armor build, you're going to need this and another piece. So great for Hellfireblight builds, but it requires a lot of practice to use effectively. Up next, we have the Magnamalo mail analysis. Here's its equipment skills and its effects. You get reload speed level 2, which moderately reduces the reload time for bowguns, and you also get blast resistance level 1 at grade 6, which has a 20% chance of preventing blast blight status when damaged by a blast element attack. And its drift smelt slot is unlocked at grade 8. The thing is, this is actually one of the best pieces of armor in the set for bowgun users, and provides more flexibility for light and heavy bowgun builds. Before this came out, usually it was the Azarathalos Greaves, because it also gave reload speed level 2. You also had Legiana Vambraces, but you needed to get them to grade 6, so it wasn't as popular. But again, it gives you another option for reload speed level 2 along with those other two pieces. Moving on, we have the Magnamalo Vambraces analysis, equipment skills, and effects. We have blast attack level 1, and it upgrades to level 2 at grade 6. This increases a weapon's blast build-up value by 75 at level 2. And its drift smelt slot is also unlocked at grade 8. This is a vital piece in the Magnamalo set for blast builds, and it pairs well with Teostra blast powder pieces. That's because the Teostra blast powder pieces only need 3 pieces to max out its level. So you can put this in to increase your blast buildup, because if you're going to have a blast build, your purpose is to inflict blast as much as you can. And now on to the next armor piece, and we have the Magnamalo Coil. Here's the analysis, the equipment skills, and effects. You get blast resistance level 1, which gives you a 20% chance of preventing blast blight status when damaged by a blast element attack. And you also get Hellfire Cloak level 1 when you upgrade it to grade 6. This inflicts Hellfireblight on you at the start of the hunt, or when a certain amount of damage is dealt to a monster. It also has not 1 but 2 drift smelt slots. The first one unlocks at grade 6, and the second one will unlock at grade 8. And it pairs well with the Helm for Hellfireblight builds. It also has 2 drift smelt slots, so a lot of customization can be done. Of course, that assumes you are willing to invest 2 drift smelt slots into this thing because drift smelting is expensive and time consuming. And last but not least, for the Magnamalo armor, we have the Magnamalo Greaves. Here's the analysis, the equipment skills, and the effects. You get Blast Attack level 1, which increases weapons blast buildup value by 50, and Sneak Attack level 1 at grade 6. This increases damage by 10% when attacking a monster from behind. And its drift smelt slot is unlocked at grade 6, and for good reason, because it's the worst piece of armor in the set. It doesn't really mesh well with other Magnamalo pieces or blast builds, so this is kind of worthless. There's a lot of better things for the Greaves slot for a lot of other builds, and this is definitely not meta. So skip it, don't use it, unless you really want that layered armor. So is the Magnamalo armor good? Well, here's the overall analysis. The Magnamalo armor has a lot of pieces that work for multiple builds, but none of these armor pieces are a must-have, so you don't actually need them. In fact, a lot of you are probably skipping over this, and that's perfectly fine. And while Hellfireblight is definitely interesting, it's not beginner friendly, and it might be more trouble than it's worth. In addition, I can't even calculate it in MHN.Quest yet, so that damage boost might not be worth it. However, this armor can be paired with the Mizutsune armor, and as much of a hater I am of the resuscitate mechanic, I do like numbers, I do like calculations. So this thing has the potential to be the most powerful melee build in the game. But in order to do that, you need to drift smelt into this. Because the thing is, when you pair Magnamalo and Mizu together, you know what you get? You get 7 drift smelt slots. So yeah, it can currently be the most powerful melee build, but also the most expensive one. So are you willing to invest that much into an armor that may be obsolete later in the future? Who knows? I'm not willing to do it, especially if it's going to cost that much. And again, you have to adapt to a whole lot of other mechanics for it to even work and play it at the most optimal way. So it's just a lot of pain, but if you're willing to do it, we're going to take a look at it. But that's when I can finally put in the numbers in MHN.Quest. And that giant explosion is basically what's going to happen. You're going to blow yourself up if you don't get rid of Hellfireblight or if you don't successfully transfer it to the monster. So again, that whole combination is just a whole lot of work. If you want to do it, be my guest. I'll be interested in numbers, but I'm not likely going to build it. Something better is going to come in the future. Hopefully this video helps you decide what to build for the Magnamalo armor set. If you don't want to play with the Hellfireblight armor, you can skip building this set unless you really want the layered armor. It does look really sick. I'm going after that layered armor because you look like a samurai, and I've always loved it. This was actually my getup in Monster Hunter Rise. But yeah, it's only if you want the layered armor. But please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully you're all having fun in Season 3, and you're gonna destroy Magnamalos a lot, and that Magnamalo guide is coming out soon because some of y'all are getting destroyed, but if you're at full power like I am, and you have full drift smelt builds for both Rajang and Magnamalo, you're eating good. But good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.